what Merle Haggard had on his side that nobody else did were the greatest songs in the history of country music.
Vince Gill is widely regarded as one of the most iconic and influential country music artists in history. His smooth voice, masterful guitar work, and heartfelt lyrics have earned him countless accolades, including 22 Grammy Awards, 18 CMA Awards, and a well-deserved place in the hearts of millions of fans. Yet, behind the fame and success lies a story marked by personal heartache, loss, and the deep emotional scars that shaped not only his music, but his entire life. Gill's ability to transform his struggles into music has allowed him to connect with fans on a profound level. And through his journey of grief, redemption, and love, he has become more than just a country star. He has become a symbol of resilience and hope. Early life. The foundation of a music legend. Vince Gill was born on April 12, 1957, in Norman, Oklahoma, into a modest family. His upbringing wasn't one of wealth or privilege, but it was rich in love and support. Music entered Vince's life at a young age, and it quickly became his escape, a way to channel his emotions and cope with the difficulties around him. His early exposure to country, bluegrass, and gospel music laid the foundation for his musical career, and the guitar became his instrument of choice. As a teenager, Vince's talent was clear, but it wasn't just his technical skill that stood out. It was the emotion he poured into every note and chord that captivated those around him. Vince's formative years were not without their challenges. He was raised in a household where his parents' marriage eventually unraveled, a painful experience that left a deep emotional mark on him. The divorce, which occurred when Vince was just a teenager, shaped his views on relationships and the concept of family. This experience of loss and the subsequent heartache would find its way into many of Vince's later songs, infusing them with a sense of raw vulnerability and authenticity that made his music resonate with listeners. A life shaped by tragedy. As Vince began to make a name for himself in the country music scene, tragedy struck. One of the most defining moments in his early life came with the tragic death of his half-brother, Bob Cohen, in a car accident. This loss was devastating for Vince, and it left a profound emotional scar that would haunt him for years to come. At the time, Vince was still a young man with big dreams, and the sudden death of his brother left him grappling with feelings of anger, confusion, and sorrow. It was a defining moment in his life, one that would serve as the catalyst for many of his songs about loss and grief. The emotional toll of his brother's passing was something Vince would carry with him for the rest of his life, and it would profoundly influence his music. Music became a way for Vince to deal with his grief, offering him a space to process his emotions and connect with others who had experienced similar pain. In many ways, his music acted as both a personal therapy and a means of communicating his deepest feelings with the world. As he worked through his grief, Vince began to craft songs that explored the themes of loss, love, and longing, subjects that would become central to his work. Rising to fame, the road to success. Despite the hardships Vince faced, his passion for music never waned. His rise to fame in the music industry was gradual but steady, fueled by his hard work, dedication, and unique musical talents. After moving to Nashville, Vince joined the country rock band Pure Prairie League, which gave him his first taste of success. His smooth vocals and intricate guitar work quickly earned him recognition, and he began to stand out as a solo artist in the growing Nashville music scene. Vince's breakout moment came with the release of his debut solo album in 1984. Songs like When I Call Your Name and Look at Us not only showcased his musical skill, but also revealed his emotional depth as an artist. His ability to convey raw emotion through his voice and lyrics made him an instant favourite among country music fans, and his fan base began to grow exponentially. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Vince continued to build a successful career, consistently releasing hit songs and albums. His voice, often described as smooth yet filled with emotion, became one of the most recognizable in the country music world. His ability to blend traditional country sounds with a modern sensibility earned him multiple Grammy Awards, CMA Awards, and a reputation as one of the best country musicians of his generation. Yet, despite his growing success, Vince's personal life continued to be marked by the scars of past losses. A song born from pain. Go Rest High on That Mountain. In 1989, Vince Gill experienced another heartbreaking loss, the death of his dear friend and fellow musician, Keith Whitley. Whitley, who was known for his powerful voice and his ability to touch the hearts of listeners, tragically passed away at the age of 33 due to complications related to alcoholism. Keith's death left a deep void in Vince's heart, and he was overwhelmed with grief. He felt compelled to write a song that would honour his late friend, but at the time, the emotions were too raw for him to finish the song. It wasn't until 1993, after the sudden death of his brother Bob, that Vince was finally able to complete the song. The pain of losing his brother reignited the grief he felt for Keith, and the two losses intertwined in Vince's mind and heart. With these deep emotions in mind, Vince finished Go Rest High on That Mountain, a song that would go on to become one of the most iconic ballads in country music history. The song was released in 1995, and it quickly resonated with fans around the world. Go Rest High on That Mountain was more than just a tribute to Vince's brother and friend. It was a heartfelt expression of grief, love, and the longing for peace after death. The song's emotional depth and sincerity struck a chord with listeners who had experienced their own losses, and it soon became a staple at funerals, memorials, and gatherings where people gathered to remember their loved ones. Even now, years after its release, Vince can hardly perform the song without becoming emotional. The tears that often come during his performances speak to the deep connection he feels to the song and the personal losses that inspired it. For Vince, Go Rest High on That Mountain is not just a song. It's a piece of his soul, a tribute to those he has loved and lost, and a reminder of the power of music to heal and comfort. The price of fame, personal struggles, and heartbreak. While Vince's career was on the rise, his personal life began to unravel. In the 1990s, Vince's marriage to Janice Oliver, a fellow musician and member of the country duo Sweethearts of the Rodeo, began to deteriorate. Both Vince and Janice were busy with their respective careers, and the pressures of constant travel and the demands of the music industry took a toll on their relationship. After years of trying to make it work, the couple ultimately divorced in 1997. The end of Vince's marriage was a painful chapter in his life, one that forced him to confront his own emotional weaknesses and the realities of fame. While he continued to pour himself into his music, the divorce left him feeling empty and uncertain about the future. During this time, Vince's music took on a more introspective tone as he grappled with feelings of loneliness, self-doubt, and heartache. Songs about love lost, personal reflection, and the search for redemption became central to his work, and fans could hear the emotional pain in every note. Yet, even in the midst of his personal struggles, Vince remained dedicated to his daughter, Jenny, and worked hard to be a loving father despite the challenges in his own life. His relationship with his daughter became a source of strength, and it was clear that his love for her would always remain a driving force in his life. A new chapter. Love and healing. Just when Vince thought love might be behind him, a new chapter began. In 2000, he married Christian music star Amy Grant, and the two quickly became one of country music's most beloved couples. Their relationship brought stability and happiness to Vince's life, and together they formed a blended family, each bringing their own children into the relationship. The healing and joy that came from his second marriage were reflected in Vince's music, and his later songs began to carry a sense of gratitude and hope that had been absent during his earlier years. Amy, who had also experienced her own personal challenges and heartbreak, became a rock for Vince during some of the hardest times in his life. The two of them worked together on music projects, sharing their love and faith through their work. Their marriage became a testament to the power of love and forgiveness, and Vince found peace in the stability that came with being part of a family once again. Despite the challenges of blending families and navigating the complexities of co-parenting, Vince and Amy remained committed to one another and to their shared faith. Their love story, though not without its own struggles, became a source of inspiration for many of Vince's fans, who found solace in the couple's ability to overcome adversity and build a life filled with love and gratitude. Coping with loss. The death of a friend. In more recent years, Vince has faced yet another heart-wrenching loss. The death of his close friend and band member, Michael Rhodes, left a deep hole in his heart, and it made him reflect on all the loved ones he had lost over the years. Michael had been an important part of Vince's life, both personally and professionally, and his death reminded Vince of the fragility of life and the inevitability of saying goodbye. Vince's openness about his grief and his willingness to share his sadness with his fans has only deepened the bond he shares with them. Through his music, he has shown that it's possible to find healing and hope even after experiencing profound loss. His fans have stood by him through each chapter of his life, and they have come to see him not only as a talented musician, but also as a man who understands the depths of human emotion. The legacy of Vince Gill. Vince Gill's journey has been one of immense personal loss and triumph. His music has become a soundtrack for millions of people who have experienced similar heartache and longing, and his songs offer comfort and solace in times of grief. Through his talent, vulnerability, and resilience, Vince has become more than just a country music legend. He has become a voice of hope for those who need it most. His legacy is not just defined by the awards he has won or the hits he has written, but by the lives he has touched and the healing he has brought to those who listen to his music. Vince's ability to turn personal pain into universal messages of love, loss, and redemption has made him a beacon of hope for generations to come. His journey reminds us that even in the darkest times, there is always a song to sing, a story to tell, and hope to hold on to. Vince Gill's music is not just a reflection of his own experiences, it is a testament to the healing power of music and the strength of the human spirit. Through every note, every lyric, and every performance, Vince continues to inspire and uplift, proving that even through the toughest of times, there is beauty, love, and grace to be found.